Hey, what's up, Funnel Rebels? Welcome to another video, and today we'll talk about webinar funnels. Webinar funnels, and alam ko a lot of you are interested to learn more about setting up webinars, what are the pages needed for a webinar funnel, and all those things. So I'll be sharing with you this framework, the framework na we used for clients' webinar. This is the same webinar framework that I use for a client na nag-generate ng over $1,000 in less than 24 hours. So, ito yung one of the most successful na frameworks na ginagamit namin for webinars. Alright? By the way, this is for a live webinar funnel. This is not for evergreen or recorded funnels. Webinar. This is for a live webinar funnel. Alright? So, I'm gonna show you the framework. Here's the webinar framework. Zoom ko lang siya ng konti. So, ito yung pinakang framework. This is everything that you need to set up a live webinar funnel. It's a little complicated. Medyo marami siyang automation compared to the normal opt-in funnel lang or, tripwire funnel. This is a little more complicated setup. But very, very powerful. Alright, so this all starts, of course, sa registration page. Sa registration page, you need to have traffic sources. Kailangan nakaplan yung mga traffic sources mo. So, for us, we have social media. Meron kaming contents. Of course, email invites. Ad. You can create ad as well. You can use a lead magnet. And then, this is a different lead magnet, for example, a checklist or whatnot. And then, you use that. And then, after a few days, you invite them to your webinar. So, after the registration page, if they signed up for the webinar, there's going to be a webinar confirmation with video. Why do we need video? Kasi, for live webinar, the most important thing is to get people attend the live webinar. You need to get as many people as you can to attend the live webinar. Okay? You need to have at least 500 people na magre-register and at least 250 na magwa-watch live dun sa webinar. If you get 100 people to register, then you need to have at least 50 people to watch the webinar live. Okay, that's your main goal. To get enough people to watch the webinar live. That's why we use confirmation video. Like, we need to hype them up, make them excited about the webinar. And at the same time, there's gonna be email series dito to remind them, confirmation that, hey, you signed up for this webinar, and then there's gonna be 2 indoctrination. Okay, 2 indoctrination video. Indoctrination video, it's like mini trainings na connected dun sa main topic nung live webinar mo. It's important. Why? Kasi, like what I've said, you need to make them excited na dun pa lang sa mini trainings mo, they'll get something na quick win na for them na pag in-apply nila, they'll get something in return that will get them excited na, hey, dito pa lang sa mini trainings to, I get a lot now. What more if mag-attend ako ng live na training? Right? I'm super excited to attend the live training. That's your goal. Right? And then, before the webinar, meron kang, the day of the webinar, you have like 4 reminders. Okay? 24 hours before the webinar, 8 hours, 30 minutes before, and 5 minutes before the webinar. And then, dito na medyo exciting yung mangyayari. So, webinar room, okay, so webinar room, there are 3 things na pwedeng mangyari. Okay, 3 things na pwedeng mangyari sa webinar room. It's either they won't show up, okay, mag-register sila but they won't show up, and if that's the case, ma-notice ni system na, okay, this person, this email didn't sign up. They signed up but they didn't watch the webinar. Hindi sila nag-show up. Then they'll be tagged na no-show. Okay, there's a tag na no-show. Another scenario is that they stayed sa webinar until makita nila yung offer. Okay, until such time na mag-present na ng offer si presenter. So if that's the case, they'll be tagged so offer. For example, after 45 minutes, nagstay sila and they're able to see yung offer. In 45 minutes, matatag sila na so offer. Right? And the last scenario would be build early. Build early meaning to say na they stayed sa webinar, sa live webinar, let's say 30 minutes, 20 minutes, 15 minutes, not enough for them to see the offer. Okay, hindi nila nakita yung offer kasi nag-leave sila ng webinar room before the presenter presented the offer. Yeah, parang ganun. So, there's 3 scenarios, okay? So, may mangyayaring automation, depende kung nasaan silang part. Depende kung nasaan silang bucket. Nasa no-show, build, or so offer. So offer muna tayo. Pag nasa so offer sila, what will happen is that it's either they'll click a link to the offer and they'll buy the offer, right? So if not, if malagay sila sa bucket ng so offer, then there's gonna be like an email that will lead them to the order form. If they accept that, then there's gonna be an order confirmation, upsell, and then member registration. That's the entire funnel flow. Alright, if not, if they don't follow yung order form, then there's this email, series of email na object handling email, bakit hindi sila nag sign up, what's wrong, ganyan. And then you can send case study, testimonials, and the case study, and the last day notice na hey, it's the end, you only have like 8 hours or 5 hours to join the program, blah blah blah, and 12 hours before final notice, and you send them to our offer recap page. Parang there's going to be like a mini video, like 3 to 5 minute video na you discussing about, hey, this is the offer, this is what you get if you join the program, and then order form, then the rest of the funnel steps. Alright, so what if nag-build early. So if nandun sila sa bucket na yon, then there's gonna be a different email na masasend. So you can't send them this series of email because they weren't able to see the offer pa. So there's no point in sending them an objection email or case study because they never see the offer. Okay, so no point of sending them this email. So ang gagawin natin, we're gonna send them na this type of email na it's the webinar is a huge success, na there's replay coming up, some testimonials about people who attended the webinar na it's a huge success, they've learned this and that. Hype them up para mag-attend sila ng webinar. And then there's gonna be another email na replay is only available for 24 hours or let's say 48 hours, and then some pieces of the content na you discuss during the webinar, during the live webinar. And then you're gonna send them back on the replay page. And then if they see the replay page and dun sa point na yun makita nila yung offer, then they have the chance na pumasok dun sa so offer na bucket and they'll be able to receive these emails. But dun sa last scenario tayo na no show, they'll receive the same email nung marireceive ng build early na bucket. Why? Kasi the same thing will happen kasi sa kanila eh. Parang same scenario sila na hindi nila parehas nakita yung offer. So it'll make sense to send them an email about how successful the webinar was, and yung mga makukuha nilang learnings from the webinar. So that's the type of email that you can send them. Okay, so that's the webinar framework. Okay, nung entire webinar. But again, guys, this is for a live webinar. So makikita nyo medyo complicated setup, but if you're using Webinarjam and ClickFunnels, it's super simple to set up. You just need to understand the logic behind it, na pag nasa so offer sila at yung type ng emails, build early, no show. You just need to understand the flow of the funnel. Kaya meron tayong framework or funnel map. Alright, so let's go to ClickFunnels. Okay, so ito yung funnel na na-mention ko sa inyo a while ago na ginamitin natin ng funnel framework na yan. So in ClickFunnels, the only thing that you need to set up is the webinar registration and the webinar confirmation page. You don't need webinar broadcast room, replay room, or countdown, because if you're using a third-party software like a Webinarjam, alright, or EverWebinar, to host your webinar or Zoom, then you don't need broadcast room sa ClickFunnels because the webinar itself will be hosted dun sa third-party software, sa third-party app. So you don't need to create the webinar room. Even the webinar replay will be hosted dun sa third-party software na yun. So no need to create that page sa ClickFunnels. Alright? So you need the webinar registration page, webinar confirmation page, And you also need order form, upsells or downsells if meron, and then order confirmation page. So those are the things that you need to set up for the webinar funnel. Okay, and again, yung webinar broadcast room, dun siya kay Webinarjam or whichever third-party software. Right? Pero if it's not a live webinar, then you need to create the webinar broadcast room. If it's recorded, then you can host the recorded videos sa YouTube or Vimeo or whichever, video hosting, and then i-paste mo lang like this one. Meron kaming pre-recorded na webinar dito. So, hosted lang tong video na to. Yan. So, parang feel niya is like evergreen. Diba? Evergreen webinar. People might think na yes, it's live, but to be honest, it's pre-recorded. Alright? So, ganyan siya. So, if that's the case, na pre-recorded siya or recorded yung webinar mo or evergreen webinar, you need to create yung broadcast room, replay room, right? And yung indoctrination video mo, if you plan to host it in ClickFunnels, then you need to create an indoctrination page sa ClickFunnels. If not, you can just send them straight to the video. If it's kunwari nasa YouTube, you can just send them straight to YouTube, right? So that's how you set up webinar funnel. I'm not gonna show you how to set it up sa Webinarjam, but pag nag-login kayo kay Webinarjam, it's simple. Madali lang siya. Kasi sa Webinarjam, you can connect it to ActiveCampaign or to ConvertKit. Tapos, you just need to automate it inside. You need to set up the automation inside Webinarjam. That's why, for me, pag gusto ni client, simple, smooth yung process, I always refer them to Webinarjam kasi smooth lang talaga ay mabilis yung setup kasi you just need to connect ClickFunnels, Webinarjam, ActiveCampaign, Webinarjam, but the entire automation process, dun siya sa Webinarjam mangyari lahat. Like yung matatag sila, like paano matitrigger, dun lahat yung mangyayari inside Webinarjam. But the thing there is you need to test it. Kasi for example, hindi ka nag-test, you became very confident lang na it will work, tapos nangyari na yung webinar. Listen to me guys, kasi from experience nangyari talaga to na nag-test kami, it worked naman, pero nung after nung webinar, wala lahat ng triggers, wala yung list namin ng mga registrants na wala. So hindi namin ma-assess kung anong result nung webinar namin. It was a mess. Sobrang hirap nung nangyari na yun kasi hindi namin ma-identify sino yung nanood ng webinar, sino ba yung nakakita ng offer, sino yung hindi nag-attend. So it was a mess. So sobrang hirap pag nagano'n yung nangyari. So if I were you, pag gumamit kayo ng any automation, it's always best to test. Okay, so that's it for this video. I hope you learned something new. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask your guildmasters or me, and I'll be happy to help. So, yep, that's it for this video, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!